Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. We the Israelites, true biblical Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, here in Babylon the Great and scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, man. Okay, sometimes looking like the heathen, acting like the heathen, talking like the heathen, but your spirit and your seed line goes back to Israel. Okay, you are one of the sons of the Most High. And yes, right now, you know, the things that are being set up right now, okay, is what we call the transfer of rulership. Okay, if you look through the spirit, the things that are going on right now have to happen. They have to take place for that transfer of rulership to happen. Okay, and the transfer of rulership that's happening right now is the transfer from Esau Edom's kingdom to the kingdom of Yahweh Shai. Okay, and that is very soon to come. Okay, all the signs are there, all the players are in their place. Okay, all the actors are acting to the best of their ability, man. Okay, and you know, you Israelites are part of that cast. Okay, some of y'all were slated, okay, to be two-thirds. You know, like it says Zechariah. Okay, two-thirds slated to die in this place right here. Okay, and suffer, you know, whatever consequence or whatever fate. Okay, may it be starvation. Okay, may it be violence. Okay, or beheaded. You know, all kinds of persecution and calamities are set up for you right here in Babylon the Great, man. Okay, Babylon the Great is talking about America in the scripture. You're never gonna see it say plainly, "Oh, this is America." But if you read through the scriptures and the things that are described in the scriptures, that this place called Babylon the Great, okay, the things that are taking place in Babylon the Great in the scriptures are happening in America right now, right? And that's how you can tell through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, okay, because he provides the vision, okay, the eyesight for his men, okay, his men. When I say his men, I'm speaking about the prophets, okay, from the apostles of Great Millstone on down, who have the truth according to the scriptures, man, okay, and this truth has went out throughout the globe, right? Whether it be in person or more majority the internet. Okay, the internet is the thing that Yahweh Shem Shai has used to get this word out. Okay, it's a mega platform. You know, like you have mega churches. This is a mega platform, primarily YouTube. Okay, and that's been going on since 2007. Okay, and that has gone out throughout the four corners of the earth, man. Okay, unlike other camps, you don't actually need to go there and get thrown stones thrown at us, or people chasing us to actually get the scriptures out. Hey, you got to understand, Yahweh Shem Shai is the spirit, okay, of prophecy, right? And he uses every avenue because the scriptures say all things were made by him and for him. That's including to get the word out. He is the word. Okay, so we don't need to be self-willed to go to Africa and go to Taiwan, wherever else some of these other camps are trying to go and put yourself in peril. Okay, you can sit right at home and make videos, go out on highways and byways and your chief places of concourse and spread the word. The elect is hidden everywhere. Okay, and they're gonna come across if they're part of the elect, they're gonna come across these scriptures being told, okay, on these broadcasts that we have, man.
That's right.
Okay, there's no need for us to be in the spirit of what was we reading earlier, Zacharias and the Maccabees, those two brothers that wanted to make a name for themselves.
Joseph and Azariah.
Azariah, kind. Wanted to make a name for themselves and go and fight the heathen, okay? When the deliverance of Israel was given into the hands of the Maccabees brothers, you know what I'm saying? And they suffered a disastrous defeat to the point where they died, but the men that joined themselves with them, they died too. Okay, and in these times right now, you got to be real circumspect, man.
That's right.
You know, you got to be real circumspect in these times, man. You got to watch your neighbor, even. You got to watch your siblings. You got to watch your parents, you know, because any man, okay, any woman, okay, can be used to ensnare you, man, okay, to ensue persecution upon you, man. You know, the scriptures speak about neighbors, okay, invading one each other. Why? Because they think you have something that they need. Because the times that we're in right now, okay, we're in the times where there's a shortage of food, shortage of fuel, you know, shortage of electricity. You know, we're gonna have blackouts going on. Okay, so there's a shortage of everything right now. Things are gonna be rationed out. Okay, even to the point where okay, a man himself is gonna be rationed out on this earth. There's gonna be short supply of men. So you women that think, oh, you don't need a man right now, wait till you go months and don't see not one man.
Wait till the lights go out.
Wait till the lights go out. Wait till the grocery stores are in complete chaos, okay? And you need a man to go up in there to buy something because, hey, pretty soon you won't even be able to buy nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The supply won't come, like scriptures say. The teats are gonna run dry.
In ancient times, women wasn't running free and loose, and they were monitored
Right.
by their fathers and their fathers, and then
Well,
they were sent to their husbands.
well, when you read the scriptures, a lot of times you either have the father with them, the brother with them, or some kind of male companion that was family,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or their husband,
Or you had
you know,
among the kings, you had chief men, like
chief men,
what they call them, eunuchs,
eunuchs,
that
right?
watch over the women.
Right,
You know,
exactly. But in this time, you don't have these eunuchs right now. The only eunuchs we got right now are closest thing are the men of Yahweh Shemi outside because we're refraining, okay, from you know, polluting ourselves with certain women because women can be a snare also, man. Okay, and before we go any further, let's give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahweh
Yahushai,
Shai, Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Rekakwadash.
Rekakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, wherever you are, man. Okay, shalom.
Shalom. I got that precept you was speaking about circumspect,
Yeah.
which that word go into like watching around. Circling means around,
Right,
a circle, circular.
right.
To spect means to watch.
Watch closely.
Yeah,
Got the spirit. I got the same.
you got the same. Hey, you got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Bring it up.
Ephesians 5, start at 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
Not as fools, but wise. You know, because the times that we're in, like I said, your very blood could be your enemy. Okay? We know that because in the scriptures, Yahweh Shai referred to his very own blood as not his family. But the ones that were in the truth with him, okay, who had the same spirit, those were his siblings and his mother and his brother. Right? Got it?
Redeeming the times because the days are evil.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore, be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Most High is.
Kind. You got to understand what the will of the Most High is for you. You know, the will of the Most High is for you to make it into the kingdom if you part of the elect. So you know, like Scripture said, you can't just give you know these 2/3 or even heathens, you know, any opportunity to get one up on you. You know what I'm saying? The Lord gives you a circumspect mind, okay, to examine things and make a determination through the Spirit. You know what I'm saying? If you should be in a certain place, okay, or be around certain people, you know, and you should use that to your advantage, man. You have that insight, that eye salve that you supposed to have, right? And Yahweh Shem Shai is the one that gives that to you, man. You know,
It says, and be not drunk with wine.
drunk with wine, man. Hey, you gotta not be drunk with wine, literally, okay? But the wine, okay, referring to these philosophies of Esau, the mind state that you're in to be asleep to some of these snares that he has for you. Okay, one example is something that we just came out of not a couple years ago with C19. A lot of y'all was drunk with that wine. Y'all took that serpent poison, man. Y'all didn't even question it. You know, that philosophy of a man not needing a woman not needing a man. A lot of y'all in that mind state. But pretty soon you're gonna see, okay, a man is imperative. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a man. Okay, you got it.
But be filled with the Spirit,
Mm-hmm.
speaking to yourself in songs and hymns
Mm-hmm.
and spiritual songs,
Mm-hmm.
singing and making melody in your hearts to the Lord.
To the Lord. Hey, you gotta keep the Lord your power in all decisions that you make, man. Okay, like it says, in everything acknowledge Him. Okay, and He shall make that path straight. You know what I mean? You gotta acknowledge the power of Yahweh Shem Shai in every decision that you make. If you're going to the left or to the right, you gotta consider. You gotta pray. You gotta ask for wisdom. You gotta ask for guidance. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're gonna get caught up. Because there's very crafty situations and things that are laid out here for you, man. Things that you don't. It's not obvious. Because a lot of y'all are asleep anyway. You know, but the elect of Israel, man, we gonna be circumspect. Okay, we gonna have damn near like porcupine prickles on our. You know what I'm saying? Anything that comes close that disrupts. You know what I'm saying? Our spirit. Hey, we gone. We getting away from it, man. You know. You got it.
It says, give thanks always for all things unto the Most High
Mm-hmm.
and the Father in the name of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach,
All right.
submitting yourself one to another in the fear of the Lord.
Submitting yourself one to another in fear of the Lord. That's a righteous order. Okay. This brother here, you know what I'm saying? I submit to him, you know what I'm saying? And we got an order. Hey, everything is in order with Yahweh Shem Shai. The Lord is not a Lord of chaos, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
All things must be done decently.
decency and order, man. You know, that's why we have elders. That's why we have apostles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got men above us that give us instructions. You know what I mean? And they get the instructions from Yahweh Shem Shai through the Spirit, man.
That's right.
You know, so things are gonna get chaotic, and you're gonna need, okay, some kind of guidance. All right, and you can't be out here operating in the spirit of, you know, just your spirit, your mind. You know, you're gonna get caught up, man. And this is the time right now. Right now is the time, okay, that you get these instructions on how you should move, how you should operate, man. Because there's instructions in the scriptures on how you gotta move and how you gotta operate. Okay. And right now is that training. Okay. The Lord is allowing his men, okay, to be trained through the spirit, okay, on how to move, man. We are at war. We're in the army right now, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And we're getting trained how to fight warfare. Scriptures say our weapons of warfare not carnal, spiritual, man. So we gotta always be in the spirit, man. Before you pick up a weapon of carnality, you gotta think spiritual.
Exercise spiritual
Right. That's discernment.
mentality. That's the main thing we should be doing.
Right.
Exercising a spiritual mentality,
Mm-hmm.
because there's nothing we can do in the physical.
Right.
Only thing, what teach this word, we don't have power to go out and exercise power.
That's right.
Our power is not with the sword. That blessing was given to Esau through Isaac.
Hmm.
So we are spiritual people, man.
Hey, we the only people that don't have an army, a standing army.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? If you look around the globe, all these nations have some kind of weapon, some kind of army, some kind of defense. But we are defenseless
Hmm.
to the naked eye.
Right.
Hmm.
If you remember, Elijah told Elisha, you don't see all these chariots over here, man. Lord, open his eyes.
Yeah, chariots of
Let
fire.
him see it.
Hmm.
You see? And then when he opened his eyes, he saw it. You see? And that's how we gotta look at things, man, through the spirit, you know?
You spoke on, you know, the men, being few and the women.
Mm-hmm.
You got to understand the ratio of women. The Lord created that natural cycle
Right,
where every, male that's born, you got like 3 or 4 or 5 females
right.
that are born, and the Lord created that from the beginning because they were made to be servants. But right now, these women are not in their rightful place.
Right.
They're not here. They're not serving.
Right.
So what the Lord is about to do, He's about to turn it back to the times of old. Like our forefathers, Sarah, which was later Sarah. She served Abraham. She wasn't rebelling and bucking up against him. She followed order, and the order is going to come back. Through much tribulation, famine, pestilence, you know, sword. All these things were set to judge this place, and within that, the order is going to come back.
Right.
All the way back until Yahweh Shai come on the scene, grab his elect, and get the earth back in the order, man.
Hey, contrary to what a lot of people think, you know, the author of putting order out of chaos is Yahweh Shem Shai.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Because judgment brings chaos.
Yeah.
And out of that chaos, he brings order. You see? And what's coming? Judgment.
Judgment.
Judgment to this place, judgment to our enemies, judgment to the 2/3. Okay.
It's mainly, especially you women.
You women.
Because it's more of you, and you're the most rebellious right now.
Rebellious.
You can't receive correction. But see, when these plays start to happen, yeah, He's gonna open your eyes. Your eyes gonna be open.
Right.
To realize that, I can't be what I thought or what I was told I can be.
Right. Hey, because
Esau
you
told
were
me,
told that.
yeah,
you were
Esau,
told that. You were taught these things. You know, that's not in your natural spirit to want to be independent from a man.
right?
You know,
Or submit. That's the hardest thing.
right. That's not in your spirit to not submit. You are naturally in the garden. The Lord told you your everything that you are is about your man, catering to your man.
Yeah, your
You
thoughts
know?
is supposed to be your husband,
Right.
his thoughts.
Right.
And if anything more that's going on, there's wickedness.
But this devil done taught you that you don't need a man. And now it's been several generations since you've been taught that. Okay, you taught it as a mother, so is the daughter. Okay, so generations have passed. Now it's ingrained in you so much that even when it's apparent, you need a man because some of y'all are so wind-headed. Okay, y'all put cooking oil in damn engines. Okay, that's how gone y'all are. So y'all need a man, but y'all don't know. Y'all don't realize it. Y'all don't want to admit it. Okay.
I got some. Oh, he said
He got some.
I got Ephesians 5 and verse 22. And like the brother was saying, they was taught to go off. But you believe in the one that taught you over the Lord. But this is what the Lord said. The Lord said, "Why submit yourselves unto your own husband, as unto the Lord." You gotta treat that man just like he is the Most High.
Right.
Because the Most High set him over you, and then He entrusted in that man to lead the family.
Right.
Right, because you are her Most High.
Right. Right.
You know,
You are
the closest thing to the Most High.
to the Most High to her.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sarah called Abraham
Lord,
Lord, right?
you know,
Which means what?
master.
You are his. You are. He is your master. He's your head.
Right.
Okay. You get your instructions from him, just like the men of Yahweh Shem Shai get their instructions.
And if you tell a woman that nowadays,
Oh, they gonna buck.
them demons gonna start, popping up, man,
They gonna buck.
because they were never taught the truth from their youth.
You know, the first thing they would say, "Are you gonna tell me that you're God?"
Right.
Right.
You know, the Lord set me up in that order.
Well,
Right.
he said, "You are God,
God
Right.
with a little
children
G.
of the Most High," which you don't see. That
You know.
not just a man, but a man of Yahweh Shem Shai is going to be scarce for them.
And I get it. Y'all women see us, and we're not in our glory right
We
now.
on the bottom.
You know what I'm saying? We're on the bottom. We've been taken down. We've been humbled by Yahweh Shai to the
Mhm.
point where we're on the bottom of society. We're not, the most desirable men. We don't hold no real power. You know what I'm saying? But through the spirit, we're the richest men. We got the most power. Okay? We the most intelligent.
Hey,
You know?
the other nations of women see it.
We the cream of the crop, really.
Mm-hmm.
And through the spirit, some of these other nations, women, they rather have us than their own men, who their own men are on top now.
They got their rulership.
You see?
And our women, the women that are supposed to be set up and righteous,
Right.
the true women, they want the
They
devil.
want the.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
Everything goes side down.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's like a nigga having a lamb buffet, and he go eat some damn pork.
Mm.
That's crazy.
That's off.
You know, your spirit is fucking crooked right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord's gonna put that fire to you to straighten you out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, calamities are coming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when this shit pitch dark,
It's blackouts.
you know what I'm saying? You got prisoners on the loose
Mm-hmm.
prowling around. Hey, a lot of y'all are posting these videos shaking y'all ass, and y'all don't even realize all that BBL y'all shaking. Or those prisoners, okay, the men in the prison, they got videos of you shaking it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they gonna come looking for you.
Mm-hmm.
They got
See?
YouTube.
They got YouTube.
They got YouTube.
And they know how to work technology.
Exactly.
They got them in there working the building.
So they
For
gonna come
5
looking
cents.
for you, man. Okay, that's what you don't realize. Okay, so you setting yourself
You're going
up,
to get that attention you want.
right.
But it's going to, guess what?
You're gonna be sold.
Yeah.
Okay, because they gonna men gonna be men. They still gonna need some women,
Mm-hmm.
some women. Okay,
They say-
because we never said we.
Nah.
You know what I mean? We never said that. Y'all said that.
It's the women that's out of order.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to read 24 as well. It says, therefore, as the church is subject unto the Mashiach,
Mm-hmm.
the church, that's the man of the Lord.
That's the elect.
We're subject to him.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to follow him wheresoever he goeth.
Right.
And it say, also, and it say, so let the wives be to their own husband
Mm-hmm.
in everything.
And
Right.
everything.
Right.
So that means, you don't buck up against, if he got a certain will that he want to execute, it's not your duty to go against that.
Right.
You created to fall in line and be a servant.
Follow him wheresoever he goeth.
Yeah.
Right.
Come.
Exactly.
Be a helpmate.
And when you read the scriptures, you understand when the scriptures tell you he is the bridegroom. Well, who's the bride? Israel.
Israel, the woman, which
You
is
see
the
that?
woman.
So we gotta follow him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he's our head. He is our husband.
He's the head of the body.
You see
the head
that?
of the church.
So if he's our husband, and we have in turn wives, our wives should be following in suit.
Right.
You see?
Right.
But y'all, y'all want the comforts of this life.
Right.
Y'all want the comforts of this kingdom, even if it's the lowest of low. Our kingdom of Yahweh Shem Shai is going to be top notch. Scriptures tell you we're gonna be walking on gold.
Right.
Streets of gold. Imagine where's the gold streets here? Them hard ass concrete, destroying your feet. Okay. Hey,
The backbreakers.
every
Mhm.
you know, everywhere you go is the fucking concrete, man.
Mhm.
It's fucking destructive. You can't even walk right because half of y'all wear heels and y'all walking on that fucking concrete all the time. That's why y'all have back problems. You know, y'all women want the best of a worse world.
Mhm.
You know, y'all looking for the best of the worst world.
That's crumbling.
You know, this shit here it is. This whole world, this system is crumbling right now, and y'all trying to cling on to it.
Right.
They ain't gonna. That's what's gonna destroy them because you know
You
why?
know,
They're not gonna let the lifestyle go. The philosophies.
right?
They hanging like right now would be the perfect
Perfect
time
time to let go.
to like, damn, maybe I need to get my black ass in order.
Right.
Right.
Because when you really think about it, right, the scriptures say those that are willing to lose their life will gain it.
Gain it.
So this is the perfect time. Before this shit hit the fan, okay, the men of Yahweh Shem Shai is letting go. We letting shit go. We turn our back on this world now. You know what I mean? We ain't looking for no land and trying to settle here and make a life for ourselves. Now we trying to get the hell up out of here, man. All our thoughts are gathered towards leaving here. You know, in the chariots of Yahweh Shem Shai, which you know the so-called white man Esau called UFOs. But we know better, okay? We read the scriptures and it tells us these are the chariots. Our salvation,
Mhm.
okay, are within those chariots, man.
Mhm.
Okay, our changing is within those chariots, man. You know, when we get our glorified bodies, man. Okay, yeah, man.
I got Second Ezra 6
Uh,
and 31. You can break
mhm.
it. Even so, in those days, there should be 3 or 4 men, 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword.
Mhm.
And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old.
Right. You
And her
see,
ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel therethrough.
right?
The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegroom.
Mm,
The women shall mourn, having no husband.
right.
The daughter shall mourn, having no helpers.
Hey, you see, Isaiah 4:1 is gearing up right now. Okay, now right now the Lord has y'all saying, "Oh, we don't need a man," but there's certain of y'all that's actually breaking down and saying, "Fuck that, I need a man," you know. But wait, it gets worse because they just announced a draft from what it was it 18 to 42. They
Mm-hmm.
raised 18 to 4. Think about it, 18 to 42-year-old men in droves are going to go to that war and they're going to die. They're going to perish,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you women are going to be stuck here, like the scriptures say, looking for a man because y'all are going to be without men for so long. Hey, you just don't even understand the state of mind y'all going to be in when shit hits the fan and you can't even find a man that's protecting y'all. You can't even find a man to say, "Oh, I'm gonna stick with him." You're gonna have to get with a man of Yahweh Shem Shai, man.
In order to stay
You
alive.
see, you're gonna have to submit yourself to get protection. You're gonna have to submit yourself to a man of Yahweh Shem Shai, man.
Right.
That's the only way you're gonna get up out of here. Okay, that's the only way.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, there's very well possibility that you're gonna die right here. Most likely you're gonna die right here.
Right.
Okay.
I got Isaiah 3 and 25. That men shall fall by the sword,
Mm-hmm.
and the mighty man in the war.
What war is it talking about? This Armageddon. Okay. Mountain of troops. Okay. In the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, the Lord's judgment. Okay. That's in the Middle East right there. Exactly where all this chaos, okay, in the Strait of Hormuz is taking place. That area right there, okay. And if you check, there's another prophecy brings out the fact that the Euphrates River is going to be dried up. And if you check right now, the Euphrates River is damn near down to a trickle. So it can't be too much longer that that war is going to take place, man. Okay, to the point where it's going to be nuclear destruction. Okay, but before that, you're going to have Jacob's trouble taking place right here, man. Food shortages, gas shortages, energy crisis. Okay, and then that sea hip is going to be rolled out.
Right.
Okay, and that's when everything is going to turn up to a boil, because you're going to have to make a choice. Either you're going to stay, okay, on the supplement of, Esau Edom and take that sea hip, or you going to trust in Yahweh Shem Shai.
You got that right.
You see that?
Revelations 3 and 10. Revelations 3 and 10, because thou have kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation.
When it say keep, it doesn't mean that you ain't going to have to make that choice. But the spirit that you need to make the correct choice, the Lord is going to give you that spirit to overcome that temptation to want to submit yourself to Esau, and give him your arm and your forehead to put that sea hip and mark you with that charagma, okay, so you can get destroyed. You need a spiritual power, a spiritual intervention to actually prevent you from taking that mark, because you may be hungry. You may have eaten for 5 days. You out here in the elements, no shelter. You may have men chasing you. You know what I mean? You may have wild beasts chasing you. You know what I'm saying? You total darkness.
Yeah.
You damn near faint.
These soldiers, these are UN soldiers.
UN soldiers.
You got ICE out here.
Who
the hell know what he when they catch you, where they gonna take you? Right. Your ass can end up on the other side of the world, man.
Concentration camp.
Yeah, there's gonna be that civil unrest right here within America.
Torture. You don't know what Yahweh Shem Shai has in store for you, man. So
that's why you need a form of protection. Just like the men of Yahweh Shem Shai has Yahweh Shem Shai as a shield from all the evil that's gonna come to pass. You women gonna need the same thing.
Right.
The children gonna need the same thing.
Yep.
Because you're the main commodity when the enemy come in and invade.
Right.
You're spoiled.
Right.
What they look for? Silver,
servants.
Gold, cattle, women, children.
Y'all are servants. Y'all a prime target.
Yeah. Look that word up, spoils, because Israel don't know about that. Spoils of war. Look that term up.
It's no pun intended, but booties. A booty is likened unto a spoil, a thing that you take during an invasion or a war. You pillage, man.
They say, because thou have kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world.
All the world.
To
man.
try them that dwell upon the earth.
Right.
And that hour is approaching. Where Esau Edom is about to implement his new world order, the MOTB, right? And you either gonna trust the Lord, as a man, if you are one of those men, the Lord will keep you from that evil. And you're gonna have certain women that get saved through their man.
Right.
But you got so many women that's so froward and they so rebellious, they're not even gonna they not even gonna get in order, man. They're gonna desire to have them, and a man of the Lord gonna be able to see the spirit on you, man.
Well, women love disorder. That's why women say their man is boring, and they run off with some dude, that like chaos.
Right.
You know what I mean? They like them bad boys.
Mhm.
You know. Hell,
Yeah.
I've even had women tell me, you're too boring. You're too safe.
Mhm.
You know. But in them times, you gonna want somebody that's
Mhm.
safe. You gonna want somebody that can bring a element of safety to you. You
Mhm.
know.
I
And
got this.
you're gonna find that out that a man is a covering in that day. A man is a covering.
Uh,
The scripture say, "Oh, you got something out?"
You got the spoils of war.
Oh, God.
The spoils of war refers to goods, property,
Mm.
property.
or land seized
Right.
from an enemy during or after a conflict.
Because you know when we read in the Maccabees, we can see how when the heathens came in, they started what occupying our land.
Right.
Our land got taken over, even to this very day.
Right.
Who's in our land? Them small heads, man. Them heathens.
And it says that they make it done legally. See,
Yeah.
they already putting the paperwork together.
Yeah.
It say what through his laws, he calls
Craft and prosper.
craft to prosper.
Right? It says what it says in the apocrypha. It says let our strength be our laws of justice.
That's right.
Ooh.
That's right.
Hey, he write a law to say this is my. He did that too.
Mm-hmm.
He did that right in this land to the
Right.
northern kingdom.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know.
He even wrote a law that prevents them from being here without documents.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's what ICE is doing right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you don't have documents, and even if your ancestors are from this land, he tell you, hey, you're not legally, you can't legally be here,
Right.
Right.
and he ship you.
He shipped all the
You
Indians
know what I
west.
mean?
Right. And they're in the process now of taking away birthright laws. If you're born here,
Right,
like okay, now that's done away with. You know
Right.
that's not.
That's not even
You don't have a leg to
sufficient.
stand on.
Right.
It's not sufficient.
right. Which is crazy because some of the politicians that's on his cabinet are those people, that the very people that he's talking about.
His own wife.
You know, it kind of his own wife. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
She don't have that legal birthright here. You know,
So therefore, she's not getting her son is illegal.
right?
You know.
Mhm.
Which is crazy.
You got some more. Yeah, you keep reading.
It says it involves taking movable state-owned property
Mm-hmm.
according to established war laws, often called prizes of war,
Mm.
booty, or
Booty.
plunder.
Yeah, the
Right.
word booty,
There
which
you go.
means
You know,
goods. Man.
goods, yeah.
You got it.
Something taken during a conflict
Mm-hmm.
and by the victor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if you will, civil unrest is a very broad conflict. You know, you're gonna have men invading one another's houses
Mm-hmm.
because,
I get that.
not only do they think, just because they think you have something that they want in there, but just to invade your house, just to even see what you got in there. You know what I mean? If you got a woman, and they know you got a woman, and especially if you're a woman fine, they can snatch her up and sell her. They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm. You got it.
You have more on that?
Yeah, that was it. Okay.
Okay.
You guys just spoke the last part of it.
Okay.
About the victors.
Right.
Now let me grab this real quick. Wait a second. I read this Isaiah 4:1. Isaiah 4:1. In that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. Why? Why is it saying that, man? Why? Because the times that we're gonna, the times that we're approaching is gonna be vicious. You know, danger gonna be all over this place, man.
Right. It's gonna be a cold world.
Hey, it's already cold. It's a cold world, but it's gonna get even colder. And women gonna need that protection, man. You got millions of women here in Babylon, and only a certain percent are married or have a chance to even get what they call a so-called high value man. which who they see as a high value man today,
Right.
ain't no
It's
fucking
not.
high value
It's
man.
not. Society now is based on a different criteria than it was back then. And even spiritually, the criteria spiritually is different from the world. So, what a woman these days think is a high value man is a man that makes above 100, $200,000 a year, 6 feet, got a rod over six inches, drive a nice car, got a house. That's the high value man in their eyes. But in the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, a man don't need none of that. His high value men don't need none of that. All they have to have is the correct spirit to get the protection that they need from him. You know what I'm saying? They gotta have the name of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai in their mouth. They gotta know the truth. Okay.
That's a high value.
That's
man.
a high value man. That's the kind of man Yahweh Bashim Al Shai gonna assign his angels to keep watch
him
over
alive.
him.
Keep him
You
alive.
see?
In
And
family.
if you are one of those men, okay, if you run across one of those men, you gotta cling to him, like the scriptures say, right? Read that again.
They say, in that day.
In what day?
Mm,
In the day of Jacob's trouble, in the day of the Lord's judgment. You got it?
7 women.
7 is a complete number. It don't mean just 7. That man could have 100 women.
Shall take hold of one man.
Take hold, meaning they gonna cling to him, man. They ain't gonna let him out his sight, out their sight.
They're gonna be like James Brown. Please, please,
Please,
please.
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 You know what I'm saying? They gonna submit themselves to him. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna have all that mouth and all that lip. I ain't finna obey you. I ain't finna do this, snapping their neck back and forth. Nah. Oh, he gonna tell them hit the road, motherfucking Jack.
All right. Come.
You see?
That's coming.
A replacement is right here.
Mm-hmm.
You got it?
Yeah, that's cold. Hey, the men of the Lord gonna be cold out
Cold.
there.
Hey, because we ain't got time to explain to you. We ain't got time to teach you at that point. You know what I'm
Right. We
saying?
ain't got to, just like they ain't got to deal with us, right?
Right.
They got everything they want,
Yeah.
right? They ain't got to deal with us.
Yeah.
But the narrative is turning now, man.
Exactly.
You know, we gonna be like, man, okay, so you don't like it, bitch, get out of here.
Get out of here, man. Get to stepping.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You can't be no punk, man, knowing this truth.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know that if the Lord is with you and you're the elect man, Lord, and we pray that we those men.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hey, you gonna have that spirit, man. You ain't gonna be trying to reason with no woman and trying to
No.
You ain't gonna have time.
Nah,
Ain't no debate.
no debating.
No, I'm telling you this right here, and this what it is.
Guess what it is. If you don't like it, guess what? The door is right there.
That's right.
You know.
Hey, Yahweh Shai don't reason with 2/3.
Well, he's an austere man, right?
You know what I'm saying? He's all austere man. We got the same personality as him. See that? You see? He has the personality of his father. We have the personality of him.
Right.
Right.
We represent, Yahweh Shem Shai. And you can't be no pushover. You can't have no weak mind.
Right.
You got to be stern. You got to be austere like our Lord is.
The only time Yahweh Shai reasons with anybody is when he casts judgment on him.
Mm-hmm.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
When the Lord puts judgment on your ass, that's him reasoning with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's straightforward. You know, he got straight commands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, the Lord give commandments. He's not gonna sit down there
Nah.
and try to reason with you. That talk to you like he your mother, he your father.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna give you commandments, and you're gonna do them,
You're gonna
or
do
else.
Or else.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Hey.
Like you had men who in the scriptures, the Lord gave them a commandment. They like, man, I got property.
Mm-hmm.
I got to maintain.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord got on their ass.
Look what happened to Jonah.
Right.
He said, hey, go prophesy.
Mm-hmm.
Jonah like, nah, he ain't going over there. Oh, okay. I'm gonna let yeah. Watch what's gonna happen to you. Judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Get your ass in the belly of that fish. You gonna learn what the hell I'm talking about. He ain't up doing what the Lord said anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It say we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name.
Called by that name. Hey, when a woman is called by a man's name, that means she belonged to him.
And not the streets.
see, hey, the proper way, even in the world, when a woman marries a man, she take on his last name. That means she belonged to him.
Right.
They call her Miss So and So. You
Mm-hmm.
see, all the teachers I done had that were married, they ain't call them Miss Stacy Gwen or whatever was her given name. Nah, they call her by her husband's last name. She belonged to him.
That's right.
That's her Lord. That's how it should be. And it's gonna go back to that.
Yeah.
You see? You got it?
I want to grab.
I got second Ezra 15 and 19.
Let me bring this out real quick.
All right.
Because backing him up what he said, you belong to him, right? So Rock 36 and 24, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest.
Hey, because the scriptures say, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Y'all become one flesh. Y'all are no longer two people striving to do two different things. She submits herself to your plan and what you trying to do. If she ain't on your plan, that's not your woman.
Yeah, nowadays the man is following the woman,
Yeah.
trying to please her deeds.
That's
And you got these women got a bunch of demons on them, man.
Many men have lost their lives
Mm-hmm.
and everything that they work for, trying to follow after a woman, chase after a woman, man. And if a woman tells you got to chase after her, leave her, fuck alone.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't your woman. She'll never be your woman.
I had a woman recently tell.
She'll never be your woman.
Mm-hmm.
Because her mindset is, hey, you gonna have to chase after me. And that's out of order like a motherfucker. Man.
Right. Lord can't deal with nobody like that, man. You let woman, you giving her strength, giving her power over you.
Well, the Lord is not your Lord if you chasing after a woman. That woman is your Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And you could never, ever be the Lord's chosen doing that.
Right. The Lord, he said, I'm going to read that again. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. And if you tell that to a woman nowadays, she going to disagree with you and try to find a way out. She gonna cut the conversation short and go the other way. Because the world is backwards, man. Esau done raised these women to be career women. They're not wise. And they're going to see, right now, even right now, they're losing it. They're losing it all. They don't even see it.
Right.
You got women crying to get the attention of a man now.
Right.
See, the Lord is getting ready to turn the narrative.
Tables now.
He getting ready to turn it, man. Hey, I got to say this. Too many men ain't really worried about women no more.
Nah.
That's not the men is waking up from that nigga woman mindset.
Well, you gotta really realize it, man. Women have been overstimulating men for years now. All they do is shake their ass and dress up in spandex and take photos of, selfies of their behind and get on YouTube, fans only. Men are overstimulated with ass and titties. Everywhere you look, there's you go to the grocery store and there's ass and titties there. You know what I'm saying? You go to church, there's ass and titties. Everywhere you go. So it's not one of those things that you strive to find anymore. It's not anything that you can find abundance in, it's not valuable like that anymore. There was a time where women were covered up from head to toe. And the only way you would know if that woman has any, she's shapely, she got a nice body. Only time you would know that is if you actually marry her and you strip her down. Then you get the surprise of your life. Like, man,
because
you
don't supposed
as hell.
Because the scriptures say you don't supposed to see a woman naked unless that's your wife.
Right. These women here in America got that look at me spirit.
Yeah.
See, they want you to look at them. Every woman in America owns spandex.
Yeah. Or they got
not 12 pair.
Right. And they got a social media account, which that right there, they got a bunch of demons. Them social media sites, they are controlled by demonic spirits, man. And these women are we don't need a man. I can do bad all by myself. But look what you're doing. You on the camera twerking. You're always available on camera. Why? Because you really seek the attention of a man. Right. Somewhere in your DNA you want a man, but you don't want to submit. The scriptures say that a man that get a wife, he that get a wife get a possession. That's ownership.
Mm-hmm.
You women, you don't own me, nigga.
Right.
Right.
They need that straight up tell you, you don't own me, nigga.
Right.
You can't tell me what to do.
Right.
You're not my daddy.
Right.
They treat you like you're just less than nothing.
Hey, but that's why in the old days, which we'll go back to that, a woman went from her daddy's house, her father's house, straight to her husband's house. There's no in between. There's no whole phase. They ain't trying to look to see if hey, this man is right. I'm gonna jump on his ride. This man is right. I'm gonna jump on his ride. I'm gonna try his ride out. I'm gonna try his ride out.
Mhm.
Next thing you know, you got 50 bodies on your ass, and you ain't got no man really interested in you or trying to get married.
50 demons on.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah. You wasn't getting sent out to college either.
Nah,
Mm.
You know.
nah.
College a breeding ground for whores.
Horse. Training ground for
Mhm.
horse, man.
And you women gonna find out the importance of a man during the time of the book. Hey, that's before the kingdom.
Right.
Yeah.
That's gonna be before the kingdom. Isaiah 4:1, that's before the kingdom.
That's right around the corner.
Most of these Jake women in America are gonna be destroyed. You know, the Lord got other women in other nations set up.
Set up.
Yeah.
You know, there's some Israelites.
Yeah.
You're not in the East.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But these damn whores here in America, the Lord gonna set their ass on fire.
Fire.
Yeah.
Because you know they so proud. You know they became
so
proud
big.
like Esau.
That's right.
They
You know?
took on their daddy's identity.
Mm-hmm. And notice it said a help like unto himself and a what? Pillar of
Of
rest.
rest.
These women don't come with rest.
Mm-hmm.
They come with irritation.
Mm-hmm.
They want you to sit there and listen to their folly all day.
Right.
They want you to take them to the fancy store, Louis Vuitton. They minds are totally wired to the mindset of a harlot, which the Lord told us that our wives are going to be harlots in the city. But see, the point that we're stressing is that you destroyed yourself so much to where when you realize that, oh shit, there's only a few men out here and we're going to have to share a man.
Man.
Yeah.
You know, women are coming to the understanding like, you
Sister
know,
wives.
you're going to have to share a man.
They're gonna share a man and like it.
Yeah. And with no problem.
Right, no
because
problem.
man
Because
ain't
there
going to take
be
no shit in
now.
there.
Right.
Right.
You know, you're going to have to come with rest. Right. And men, you know, you understand the older men they choose younger and fertile and a woman that comes with peace.
More impressionable women.
Yeah.
One that's teachable.
Right.
Yeah. That's
You
the
know?
main thing because the scriptures say what? Husband teach your wife.
Right.
One.
How could you teach your wife if she's not submissive?
She got like a rattlesnake biting at you.
Because contrary to what a lot of women believe, that word obey goes into agreeing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you gotta be in agreement with your husband.
Right.
Your husband has the vision from Yahweh Shemel Shai. He has the plan.
Mm-hmm.
You see, not you.
All right. What would it look like if the Lord give us strict command, and then we say no.
Right.
You know, like I got my. No, man. You know, like a man shouldn't accept that from his woman.
Right.
You know, like when the man lay it out, he's got the God-like mindset
Yeah.
to lead that situation.
Right.
Right.
And then she want to fight against it the whole damn time.
Right. You see what happened to Israel.
Mm-hmm.
You see how we
I
got
was
here.
just thinking that.
How you think we got here? By telling the
We
Lord,
didn't
nah,
agree,
we ain't doing that.
Man,
we
guess
gonna
what?
do what we want.
We agreed to it and then went aside like a
Right.
hoe.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a hoe. Like a hoe in the street, man.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't got no direction. A
Mm-hmm.
loose hoe.
That's it.
You know? That's how Israel went astray. You know? Going to every high hill, going to every hill, every place, man, going after the heathens.
The scriptures say.
Jeremiah 3 will tell you about it.
Mm-hmm.
Scriptures tell you we had lovers. We had different lovers, man. You know, each lover provided something, just like y'all women today.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have 6 men lined up. Each one of them provide a different aspect of y'all lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's how Israel was, man.
Yep.
You know?
And you pollute it. You know that only pollution. You stink.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Giving up the box to 5 different men.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why y'all so crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can't pay attention to nothing.
Their attention span is messed up. Their ability to connect with one another, man and woman, is gone.
Gone.
That spirit is gone.
That peer bonding is completely destroyed. Y'all
Mhm.
y'all can't even peer to your own damn spirits.
Right. You got a lot of Jake men, they just don't even talk to you no more.
Right.
They don't even talk to the woman. And I look, me personally, I see the energy of these women.
Yeah.
You know when you walk past a woman and she want to talk to you,
Hmm.
she want to holler at you.
She want to see, ask you, what you
Yeah,
think
what's
about.
up? But guess what? The pride is not. See, we coming into a time now in America where women gonna have to approach men
Hmm.
because you destroyed the whole dynamic.
Hmm. Right.
You gonna have to you got to. Hey, in old times, women always competed against a man, competed for a man,
Man, yeah,
and that spirit is gonna come back because men are gonna be few.
right.
And the times we living in gonna be so dangerous and vicious that you're not gonna have all that free liberty city girl turn up shit. That's going away.
Right.
It's gonna come a time when you walk up your house, bullets gonna be flying,
Right.
wild beasts are gonna be loose.
Hmm.
You never know. You can walk out of the house and a bunch of squirrels jump on your ass, man. That's the time we coming
Shit,
into.
you can stay in your bed and the tree can fall on your house.
Yeah,
Then what?
yeah. Times are dangerous, man. And the scriptures, furthermore, what preaches that uh, uh, Babylon is going to be like women.
Hmm.
Man, you understand the nature of women, they fickle. They scary by nature.
Right. Hypergamous.
Right. So that means even the light we have now, it's going to be so dark that we're not going to have these lights on your phone. How you going to plug them up if there's an energy crisis, if there's a
Blackout.
blackout?
Right.
You've been seeing energy crisis all over the news, man. You got articles we go into warning you about why you think these things are popping up. Because it aligns with prophecy.
And EMPs.
Yeah. The EMP,
Mhm.
yeah.
Them
What is it?
EMPs.
How you say it? What does it stand for?
Energy.
Hmm. Yeah, get that. Because if Babylon going to be like women and men going to be afraid, how much more you women?
Right.
You're going to have men out here crashing out. You're going to have men out here scared to walk to the next corner or go look for some food.
Right.
So how much more you women? And you women got that pride on you, like I got that whole freedom mindset, that women liberation, that feminism that put you in a. Hey, that didn't do nothing good for you. Esau set you up
Right.
to use you and take you down.
Exploited your weakness.
Hmm.
Exploited your weakness. Hey, because women are the weakest sex because
Hmm.
they don't have the mindset that a man has. They don't have the strength that a man has.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So there's certain things of
I got that right here.
we was just talking about the experiment they had. They put women
On
on
the
the
island.
island and put men on the island.
Uh-huh.
Within 2 days, the men had shelter,
Yeah.
food, and was having a good time. The women completely fell apart. They started drinking like seawater and
Yeah.
shit. Started getting throwing up.
Yeah.
They were too scared to catch nothing to eat.
Right.
They couldn't figure out who hierarchy, who's in charge. The men had everything already ordered.
They were fishing. They tied sticks together
You know,
and smoked some fish.
fish. They were actually having a good time.
Yeah.
I got that EMP for you. Okay, it says an EMP is an electromagnetic
That's it.
pulse.
Yeah.
Is a sudden, intense burst of electromagnetic energy that
Mhm.
can disrupt or destroy electronic
Mhm.
devices, power grids, and
Mhm.
communication systems
Mm-hmm.
caused by nuclear detonations,
Mm.
solar flares, or specified weapons.
Mm-hmm.
It includes high voltage and unshielded systems.
Mm.
You see,
And this system is already fragile.
and if you look at Esau's system, it's fragile, like the brother said,
Mhm.
because everything is going to be eventually um, controlled by one system. You see, and right now you have these fragile energy grids that all it take is one part of it to be affected, and it spreads. You know, you have data breaches that's happening. You know what I mean? Through hackers that hack systems.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything is electronic now, computer operated.
Mm-hmm.
So all that people are hacking systems. You know what I'm saying, and turning shit off.
Right. And you speaking on you women, you love to pick up that phone and dial 911. That
Nigga
shit
won't be
gonna
no
go out.
911.
that shit gonna go away.
He gonna say doo doo doo.
Hey,
Hey,
First
because
Peter's.
hey,
Go
guess
ahead.
what? Who comes when you call right now?
A man,
A man. You don't need a man.
right?
You don't need a man.
That's the
When you
stupid
have a
shit I
fire,
never
who
heard.
comes? A man.
Mm-hmm.
See that? Who gonna pick your big ass up out the ground, off the ground, and put you in the ambulance when you get beat the fuck out?
Oh man.
A man. You see that?
Yeah,
Right. But I don't need no man.
yeah. I got First Peter's 3 and 5. I'm gonna go read down. But after this manner in old times, the holy women also who trusted in the Most High adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as you do well, and are not afraid with any amazement. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge. Give honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers not be hindered. You see that? So Sarah was an example for you women to fall in line and understand how to conduct themselves as holy women, adorn themselves in modern. Hey, Sarah didn't have on no leggings, no booty shorts,
Hell no.
spandex. You know what I'm saying? She obeyed him, man. You know, and you women have moved further and further and further away from what how it was in the 30s and the 40s before the women's liberation.
Liberation. Hey,
Yeah.
before women's lived, um, 85% of Eves were married. You know what I mean? Married at a young age at that. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? 18, 19-year old. They was already married and having children,
Mm-hmm.
taking care of their household,
Yeah.
you know. But then came women's liberation, and,
Mm-hmm.
and they wanted to go out to work. Now Esau set that up because guess what? Now he can tax you and your husband,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it became a money grabbing thing for him because now he separated you. You know what I'm saying? He got men
Mm-hmm.
by themselves. He got women by themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and he could tax both of y'all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You see that?
The attack was really on the Israelites. That really hit the Israelites hard with that welfare. We're gonna you know we're gonna take care of you, give you all these benefits if you take the man out of the house.
Hmm.
You know, and look at the families now. Okay, but all that is going it's gonna lead up to you needing a man during Jacob's trouble.
That's right.
You know, you're gonna see that the power of why the Lord created a man. You're gonna see that a man is gonna be precious in that day. Specifically an elect, which is likened unto what? Fine gold.
Hmm.
Even the golden wedge of Ophir is what the scripture says. A man gonna be likened to a jewel. This is Isaiah 32:1. Behold, the king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. Verse 2, and a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, you know, and that's a man of Yahweh by Shemal Shah. A man gonna be as a hiding place from what? The destruction. And the men of the Lord hid themselves in his truth, so they can be covered by Yahweh by Shemal Shah.
Right.
That's the covering. And you women, if you ain't attached to that, you dead meat.
Right.
You know?
And because that is your covering, you gonna get covered also.
Mm-hmm.
You see that?
It say, and from a covering from the tempest. A tempest is a storm.
Hmm.
And that represent all the troubles that's gonna be hitting this place, man. And you women gonna need to be covered from that. You don't even realize you're already sitting in the trap that's being set by Esau.
Right.
No, your kids ain't got no covering. The woman is leaving the kids at the house, going out the club and party. Those are traps within itself.
Hmm.
At a time where you got women, you got child sex trafficking, you got sex trafficking, you got child abduction. You just you know, sitting in all them baits thinking that you doing the hey, the crazy part is you thinking that what you doing is good. You think you ain't doing nothing wrong.
Think it's beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
Like you coming up on something by doing that.
Yeah.
You know, but
Mhm.
you leave. You know, like the scriptures say, you leaving your children like an ostrich leave her eggs. You
Mm-hmm.
know, for the predators, man.
Right. You say a covert from the tempest as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. Now, I'm gonna skip down to verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. And in America, man, this devil done made you too goddamn comfortable
Hmm.
to where you think you don't even need a man or any kind of covering.
Right.
You know, I can do bad all by myself. Them terms, you're gonna have to live with that. We telling you to keep that same energy
Yep.
when you lose your benefits, which a lot of you getting cashed out of your houses right now.
Right.
You know that hey, a lot of you women are getting
Evicted.
evicted. You
You
know,
know,
right? And the first
Eve,
thing they do is what? Oh, go ahead. What would you say?
Eve is getting laid off at a higher rate. You know,
Mm-hmm.
all these government jobs that Eve used to hold,
Them shit's
hey,
going away.
they getting you know, axed out.
Right.
You know, so you know, y'all gonna need the provision of a man soon because all them kids y'all got and no man, hey, you know,
Yeah.
Eve, Eve don't really need ears. You know, she don't listen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, the ears is just useless.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got Jeremiah 9:20.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Yet hear the word of the Lord, O ye women, and let your ears receive the word of His mouth,
Mm-hmm.
and teach your daughters wailing,
Ooh.
and everyone her neighbor lamentation,
Mm-hmm.
to say, for death has come up into our windows, and is entered into our palaces to cut off the children from without, and the young men from the streets."
Mm-hmm.
So you know they ain't gonna have no covering cats. They ain't gonna have nobody to cover 'em.
No.
You know, like, and they're gonna be wailing because of their children. You know, like, you know, because they refuse to listen. Now your children gonna be out here in the street. They're gonna be starving. You know, you know, they're not gonna be in a position to receive, you know, on welfare.
Yeah.
You know, good health.
Mm-hmm. Furthermore, the scriptures speak about the beauty of women being changed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of the reasons why you women got that pride on you
right,
is because you got access
right,
to the beauty products. You know,
yep,
you work from home. Right now, you think things are, hey, this is the time where Esau got a great delusion cast over you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, he making you think that you're on top, you
Right.
know?
Right, because you know, like some EU right now, see, they still got some simps around.
hmm,
You know, simp. You know, a lot of Jakes still got a little money, and they still dumping that money on them.
Mm-hmm.
right.
But see, the day
The
gonna
Lord
come
finna
when the
kill
Lord
them.
gonna take them men out the way.
Mm-hmm. Because
Hey,
they the real problem.
They the problem.
They the real problem.
see, society has women, a lot of women that are twos, you know, have a little money or do, you know, sponsor them to where they can put the makeup on them and get the BBLs, get their breast implant,
Mm-hmm.
and falsely turn themselves into, you know, a six or a seven, okay?
Falsely.
Falsely turn themselves into a six or a seven. But guess what? Your mentality is still a two.
The two or
Right.
three. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Your
Mm-hmm.
mentality is still a two, and it shows by your actions, man. You know, a lot of the things that come out your mouth, a lot of the ways that you move, it still shows you a damn two,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
okay? And you don't look. A man can spot a two from a mile away, just by the first couple words she say.
That's a two.
That's a damn two. I don't give a damn how good the outside look.
Right.
Yeah, it's not about how a woman look, man. It's about what the inside, man.
Right.
A woman listen to you, she serve you, she add value to the man. That's how it was originally.
Right.
The woman add
Fatten your
value to
bones.
yeah.
You know, give you the right things to keep your strength up. You know what I mean? Comfort you when you in need.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hey, there's no resistance when she come to the, you know, when you come to the bedroom.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I ain't got no headache. I ain't
Right.
got this.
She ready.
Holding
know?
back the box.
Ready.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and 9 times out of 10, the reason why they do that because they're adulterous.
Right.
You know?
Right.
They in the bed
They
with
fucking
somebody
another
else.
man. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the first thing I'm gonna say anyway. That's what I'm gonna think. Because you know, like I can't help a woman in my house that you know, hold that back.
Right.
You know, because that to me that holds the relationship together.
That's a
Mhm.
partner.
Yeah,
Well, that's how you get to know the woman.
yeah,
How you know I want to see the shit is backwards.
Yeah.
No, I need at least 5 or 10 dates. I need you to, and then that's you got to get to know me, bitch. That is how to get to know you.
right.
A man bonds through intimacy.
Intimacy,
You know what I'm
intercourse.
saying? That's how a man bonds. That's how a man that's how you stay on a man's mind through intimacy. You know what I mean? A man ain't gonna remember you if you just his homie
Just sitting
just
there.
sitting around kicking it with him.
Right.
You know, and then y'all get up and go y'all separate
And
ways.
then,
Nah.
and then you using up his resources
Mhm.
because a woman is needed. A woman needs shit.
Hell yeah.
A woman is just sitting there. You got that's what women do in this world. They sit there and ride off your resources and say you got to get to know me.
Right.
Well, why that same rule don't apply when it comes to the resources?
Right.
Right.
Right. I gotta get to know you before I spend
Right.
any money on you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's bullshit, man. Because Esau, that's when you see a woman like that, that's a product of what Esau created, man. It say Isaiah 32:9, rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, because they moving without a care in the world. You know, many days you're gonna be troubled. The Lord is gonna call this system to completely crash. And you women, you think you women are needy now. You wait till uh, food is scarce, water is scarce, and the dangers, man.
Necessity.
Yeah, you got to hit these woods, man. You ain't gonna be able to live. You just wait then. They gonna flee quick to a man, cause woman, they know where to run when they sense danger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The problem gonna be if that man don't desire to protect you, that's your ass. That's your ass, Mr. Postman.
And a woman can, she got that one defense screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She can do that well.
Yeah.
That's just gonna attract more
I was
more
just
attention to your ass.
I was gonna say that. They say, many days shall you be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail. That represent the
Benefits.
yeah, the benefits.
All them EBT cards and rent vouchers. All the benefits that Esau has afforded you
Mm-hmm.
to trade in your man
Mm-hmm.
and let your man leave, and then he gives you those benefits. Hey, they're gonna dry up, man.
That includes hospital benefits.
Right,
There's
Medicaid, Medicare, all that
there are
shit.
benefits that they can get that a man can't get at a hospital.
Right.
They get if a man homeless, you got to pick your damn self up out of that situation.
Right.
But if a woman with you,
You can go to
there
a
are
shelter.
programs. There are programs. You can go to a shelter,
You go to a shelter.
answer in the program that'll help you out.
They'll fuck around and give you a place to stay for a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
The government.
They're gonna direct you to the food banks and all these different programs.
The government got vouchers for women to go to certain women to go to hotels with their children and stay there for a whole 6 months, and they get vouchers for it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know, they could get housing. You know, I'm saying,
Mhm.
not even working. They moving 3-bedroom houses, brick houses,
Yeah,
2-car garages.
HUD homes.
Like, God, damn,
You know,
how did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
But then they see they got no kids, and then see they turn around, and then like a lot of times they say, well, they don't know who their baby dad is, or they don't know where he is.
Mm-hmm.
They get no benefit like that. But like sometimes they be like, well, okay, he's there and he's there. So when they locate him now, what he got to do? He got to pay back child support, back support of all the money that they have gotten for the government, and then end up in jail.
Mm-hmm.
He can't pay nobody, mess his life up.
Yeah,
Take
he
his
get behind
license.
so bad. Yeah.
they'll take your license.
Even the
Suspend
so-called
your
working
license.
white man working hand in hand together.
Well, say that man drive for a living. What the fuck then?
Yeah.
You
They
know,
don't give a shit.
Right.
This world don't give a shit about a man, but the Lord is gonna put that testosterone back in the earth.
well, this world has put the women on that pedestal where a man was, and put the man underneath him.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where a man is subservient to a woman now.
Mm-hmm.
Look at some of these businesses that we work at. Who's in charge?
The woman.
The woman.
Right.
And she treated like some kind of revenge
Like, yeah, nigga, I'm over you.
campaign.
Yeah.
You know, she got a revenge campaign about on all these men. You know, like she's some dominating chick. You know what I'm saying? That just have a walk around with a paddle and just whooping niggas in the head and shit.
Mhm.
You know, you gonna submit. You gonna submit. That's what they really want.
Right.
They want us to submit,
Mhm.
but it ain't gonna work, man. Because Yahweh Shema Shai is gonna flip this thing upside down, man.
That shit.
Right side up.
You know,
Right side up.
right
Right
side
side
up,
up.
kind.
Yeah. We're not just saying this, just to let time pass by. We're saying this right here because this is what's gonna happen.
Mhm.
We're not begging you to turn around and
We don't need to
serve your
beg.
man like the Lord say.
I don't need to
You're
beg.
gonna do this.
You're gonna do this.
You're gonna do it.
Will for it, yeah.
Yeah. And the Lord is gonna use the calamities of Jacob's trouble to usher that in.
Mhm.
You know, and the closer we get to those times, okay, the more you're going to realize that you need a man. You have to have a man in those, especially in those times, man.
Mhm.
You know, because right now one income ain't cutting it no more.
Mhm.
You see how much gas is.
It's a rent
Right.
crisis out here.
You know what I mean? You see how much gas is. You see how much a carton of egg is,
Mhm.
milk,
Mhm.
and this is just the beginning.
We ain't even in the super high inflation yet.
Right.
This is just the beginning, man.
Bring your sister wives with you.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be like Isaiah 4:1 gonna start on this side.
Right.
Mhm.
It's gonna start right here.
Yeah. And you already see it happening, man.
Mhm.
There's so many women living out their cars now.
Mhm.
You know, filming, making videos in their cars. Why are you in the car all the time, bitch?
Mhm.
Why you don't be in the house no time? Always in the car.
Mhm.
Putting makeup on, trying to act like
You got it together.
you got it going on and shit. Yeah, something else.
Hey, with that being said, Lord willing, that this lesson was edifying to the elect, of Yahweh Shema Shai. We're going to end this session by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. And a Bible ball, definitely description to America, man.
A soon.